Welcome to Thursday Night Knives. I'm Bob DeMarco. Coming up, we're going to take a look at a new Jack Wolf knife. I got a new cold steel that I haven't been able to resist, I guess. And then we're going to give away the April 2026 Gentleman Junkie knife for the giveaway knife. And that is the 2026 Tonto from Shed Knives. If you don't know, Shed Knives, they release their knives like cars. So every model has a new model year. This is the 2026 Tonto. It's kind of like a sheep's foot, kind of like a Warncliffe, kind of like a reverse Tonto. We're giving that away to one lucky Gentleman Junkie. So everyone, what is going on? How is it going with you? Hope it's going well. The topic tonight I want to talk about. Now, you dream with me for a minute. Dream with me, like the movie directors do. All right. I think this, like, I'm superstitious a little bit. I'm Catholic, but I'm also superstitious. And to me, if I don't have a knife in my pocket, I'm like, what if I were transplanted like immediately to another time, another place? And I had the chance to be like, yeah, this is Magna Cut. Oh, this is how we make knives in the future. And I could be a god in that past time. What would I take with me? This is something I think about. You're a knife junkie. If you're here, probably. So what knife would you take to the past with you? The past in particular. OG Blade Reviews. Nice to have you here, Dave. Evening all. Oh, Dad's USMC K-Bar would gladly travel back in time with me. I used it as a boy of 8, and I still use it. I'd use it now. Fond memories. How cool. Dave, I'd love to talk to you sometime about your dad's service. I'd be interested to find out about that. Yeah, that's a treasure. Marco, good to have you here, Marco. Evening, Bob, Jim, and Junkies, he says. Good evening to you, sir. Jason Small, nice to have you here, Jason. He stands to win the Shed Knives 2026 Tonto. He says, right away, I want to say my Randall Smithsonian Bowie, but that thing is so heavy. What would be practical? Maybe just a cold steel machete. I love the two-handed square-ended one. Yeah, that one is very grim to me. That looks like a decapitation machete to me. I don't know why, but it looks like grim and purposeful. Anyway, Jason says, how far are we going back? You could change the future. Wait, you could change the future if you went back and armed a tribe of cavemen. Scary, buck 110. Yeah, right. Check this out, Grok. Jason says, I'd go back to yesterday and make a bunch of my stuff with me to double my collection. Yeah, that's a good idea. I may have a problem. Oh, I may too if I say that's a good idea. Chrisville, USA. Chrisville, good to have you here. I would have to take a loaded SAK Swiss Army knife. The farther you go back, the more useful it would be too. I could make good weapons with a Swiss Army knife and then some. Yeah, no kidding. Swiss Army knife would be good. James Hart, nice to have you here, sir. Greetings, fellow bladers. I'm still thinking. Here's the thing that pops into my mind from time to time. You would get a lot of oohs and ahs from something on ball bearings. It'd be like magic. How did that blade appear? You know, or you could bring something with like a really spectacular steel, let's say, and dominate the woods with it. You know, yeah, you want to go through the jungle? Let's go through the jungle, you know, with your superior steel. Excuse me. Carino 1, nice to have you here, Carino. Good evening, Jim, Bob, and fellow junkies. I'd take adjacent Santoku back, adjacent, I'm sorry, Addisant. I would take Addisant. Is there something I'm missing? Am I mispronouncing this word? Santoku back in time and lay it on my grandmother's kitchen counter. Lots of time preparing meals from scratch. Oh, how cool. A decent. Okay, thank you, Jim. A decent. I am a reject. I'm sorry. I would take a decent Santoku back in time. So his grandmother, oh my God, you're breaking my heart, Carino. Yeah, that's a great idea. I love that. That's beautiful. Preparing meals from scratch with a futuristic knife. Yeah, that's really cool. Cesario, nice to have you here, my man. Good evening, Bob, Jim, and good folks. I guess I would take that old Bowie that I found in my friend's garage. It seems old-timey. That's a good idea because it's old-timey probably, but probably not as old-timey as we're all thinking. James says, well, I've narrowed it down to 3. All right, let's hear it. Nope, back to 5 choices. You know what might be good? Here, what about this? What would happen if you brought this? Just a cold steel 3V Trailmaster. Bring that back to cowboy times and, see how many campfires you could build with that. Red Flag Blades. Nice to have you here, sir. That's Michael, of course. Good evening, Bob, Jim, and Junkies. Without knowing exactly what situations or time period, I would have to take my version of the tracker knife or my version of the kukri coming soon. All right, Michael, you'll have to send us one so we can show it off here. And then, of course, I'll buy it before I send it back. That's how we do it here. Ben, how you doing, sir? Benedict Odie says, good evening, all junkies, Bob and Jim. Good evening to you, Ben. I hope you're doing well. Sorry, guys. Bartholomew Roberts, nice to have you here, sir. Happy Thursday Night Dives, Bob, Jim, and junkies. I had this get-rich idea to bring back an Ultratech high-end piece to sell to a king or emperor. And then I read Carino One's beautiful post, and now I feel like a schmuck. Bravo. Oh, I didn't see this. What is Carino One's a beautiful post? I love it. I mean, Carino One, he's got away with words, but I wouldn't have classified that last one as beautiful, so I want to see this beautiful one. Jason Small says, hello, fellow junkies. Oh, this is an old one. Jason, nice to have you here. Let's see. Jim is my conscience. He is my short-term memory. Thank you, Jim, for being a good friend. He says, take his knife back to his grandma. You stunad. Yes, of course. That is the beautiful story. But, okay, I'm forgetting who said what. All right, I'll admit it. I just came back from dinner. I had a salad and a glass of wine. And that combination, it's a little more wine than salad. An American Father says, happy Thursday Night Knives. American Father, nice to have you here, sir. And Carino, didn't mean to minimize that. Bob, Jim, and friends, it's been a crazy day in the homestead. All of my bred stock are birthing triplets. Holy mackerel. Baby goats and sheep everywhere. That's got to be a good sign. That's got to be a good sign if you believe in signs and wonders and such. And I kind of do. That sounds good to me. Jason Small said, you might need a little help, but until the help comes, Jason Small says, can we pick fictional knives? I want the disc thing from Predator 2 or the boomerang from Mad Max. I would have to change my name to Lefty. Yeah, no kidding. A throwing weapon. See, throwing weapons to me are supplementary. Like you have to have something that's never going to leave your belt or your hand, as far as I'm concerned. You got your stuff to throw just for fun. Split and Slices says, howdy, Bob, Jim, and junkies. Thursday Night Knives. Great question. I suppose I would go back to the Roman Empire and demand the legions turn in their gladius for a work-tough gear night hunter or Puzon Predator Hunter Bowie. Indeed. Yes, I could see them fighting Germania with some work-tough gear. Jason Small says, yo, hit that like button. And I would agree. Jason, are you from Philly? And I ask you that because of your use of the word yo. Just curious. James Hart says, like button smashed. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. An American Father says, the knife that I would take to adventure back in time is a Randall, unless it's back to medieval times. Then I guess it would be a cold steel sword. Ooh, that sounds good. A cold steel sword. And you would be a king among men. Jason Small says, in the end, it would have to be a T-Kel, maybe the Mercenary or the Ops Tonto. What about this? The knife formerly known as Sapper, currently known as the Outrider by T-Kel. I would agree. Awesome stuff. Super ergonomic, great to carry, great cutters. Look cool and great carry options. Ben says, for practicality, either a Leatherman, that's a great idea, Charge, or Victorinox Huntsman. But for fun, a Microtech out the front so I can finally be a wizard. Yes, exactly. Exactly. You'd be carried around on a palanquin, sort of commanding respect everywhere you go. James Hart says, for me, it would be a Cold Steel 1917 Frontier Bowie. That's a good idea. That's not a bad idea at all. For me, the 3V Trailmaster, kind of on a similar vein. Craig, nice to have you here, sir. He says, evening, Bob, Jim, and Junkies. If I had to go back in time, excuse me, I would take an Espada XL in S35VN. At any point in history from, say, 50 years ago and further, there's no folding knife as capable. I would say like 10 years back, there's no folding knife as capable. Not only that, but it's beautiful and it looks kind of traditional. So it's like you put a spell on your traditional Navaja, and that's what you got. Terminator Joe, nice to have you here, sir. Evening, brothers of the blades and sisters of the slash. The one knife it would be the Espada XL. That's two now, due to the sheer size, and I can conceal it in my pocket. Excuse me. Yeah, and it's just like overly impressive. Terminator says, but which time period it would go back to? Is this DeLorean Doc? No. I mean, well, yeah, you could go back to the 80s, but no, I'm talking like back in history. Like I imagine this comes from just little things that pop into my head late at night. Oh, I can't walk around without a knife. And then I'm like, what if I end up in caveman times and I don't have a knife? I'll be kicking myself. Well, even if I have this little Civivi fixed blade, whatever it is, Altus thing, which is a great little knife, I'd be 1,000% better off, and everyone would think I was like a wizard, as Ben said. Ninjersey 1, good to have you here. My Black Raja 2. Ooh, that sounds good. That sounds good. And the color edition, the edition of the black blade, they'll be like, who is this? Sean Clark, they'll know you're bad, you know. Sean Clark says, good evening, Bob, Jim, and Junkies. Favorite knife of the week. Hope everyone, a favorite night of the week. Hope everyone is good. Sean, great to have you here, sir. And I hope you're doing well. Harley Wrestling, nice to have you here, Harley. He says, Cold Steel Mayhem. That's a great idea. Do I have any large? I have 0 large Cold Steels out tonight. Oh, no, I don't. I have this one. Tyler, nice to have Tyler Durkee with us. He says, I ended up getting the battle box this month, so I got those 2 knives. What are they? Tyler, let me know what those knives are, man. I'm unfamiliar. I don't get the battle box, so I don't know what they are. Gary Balmain, nice to have you here, Gary. He says, good evening, friends of Thursday Night Knives. I would have to take back my Buck 110 back to 1964 when I was 15 to show how resilient and trend-setting. How cool. How cool. All right, so Gary, my version of that will be, like the Recon 1, probably. Or maybe something. No, it'll be like a Spyderco, because I'm 54, so it'll be something a little bit before the Recon 1. It'll be a Spyderco, like Endura 1. I'll be like, man, we're at the Endura 17. You will not believe how long the legs are on this folding knife. Sean Clark says, I would take my Bobby Rains Rainmaker, LOL. LOL, he says. Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny, Bob? I would take my Rainmaker. Sean, I hear you, Sean, and I'm happy for you. Thank you. Thank you for mentioning that. I'm just kidding. I'm very happy you have one. I'm only jealous. I'm not envious. Ground Fog, nice to have you here. Ground Fog, he says, a wave. Good to have you here, man. Will B says, hey, Bob, Jim, and Junkies. I have absolutely no idea which knife I'd take back in time. That's tough. It is, because in one way, you'd want to bring back your Rainmaker, say, look at where the Bowie knife has gone. But you would also want to take your Marfione custom out the front Bowie knife, and say, look at where the Bowie knife has come. You could go the magic way, or you could go the traditional but superlatively made. Adrian Fighter 35, nice to have you and yours with us. Good evening, Bob, Jim, and fellow junkies. If I could go back, I'd go to Texas, 1836. It would be a Trailmaster, Natchez, or Laredo Bowie knife. I'd be showing it off at the Alamo. Yes, right here. Trailmaster. Oh my gosh, what a great knife. Ichthyander, nice to have you here, Ichthyander. Hey guys, well, hey yourself, good to have you here with us. Condor K-Knight Machete. Now that one I don't know. Condor I love and respect, but I do not know what the K-Knight is. Pardon me for a sip. Level on up, nice to have you here, Level on up. Hey Bob, Jim. Hey Bob, hey Jim. Hey fellow knife junkies, good to have you here, sir. Cat Scratch, nice to have you here, Cat Scratch. Hello, junkies, he says. Well, hello to you. Hope you're doing well. Look at that. 2 cats in a row. El Gatito Malo, what's up? I take the Machine Wise Mojave. All right, so this is mentioned a lot, and I can't say I can think of what that knife is right off the top of my head. And you're like, Bob, you've had like 3 weeks to do your homework, and I know that's true, but still don't know what the Mojave is. Jerry C, nice to have you here, Jerry. Hello, Bob, Jim, and fellow junkies. Hope everyone is well this evening. Well, hello, man. Hope you're doing great too. Just want to show this off real quick because I know we have a lot of gentlemen junkies. Level on up. It's not a hash. This is the one night a month. This is not a hashtag knife month, or a night, I should say. This is a night for the gentlemen junkies. This is a knife for them to win. This is the Shed Knives 2026 Tonto, a beautiful knife by Jack Billings and Shed Knives. They do their knives. They release them like their cars, so they have model years. This is the 2026 Tonto. I have the 2024, and man, the improvements are vast, mostly in the ergonomics of this, but also he's including a heat treat certificate and all sorts of other stuff in the box. So it's definitely value added. Plus you get a DCC clip within that beautiful sheath. He's also really improved the sheaths. So if you're a gentleman junkie tonight, this is the knife you stand to win. That's right. The Shed Knives 2026 Tonto. Let me tilt this down a titch. All right. What do I have in front of me? Let's see. I'm waiting for a Spyderco from Shane. I just bought one from him last week, right after this show, and I'm really looking forward to it. Shane gave me this one. This is an S110V. What the hell is this thing? This is a Mannix 2 lightweight. Well, I got the Native Chief from him, and I'm really looking forward to it. So I will be showing that off. And I know that one of his handmade custom knives will be coming at the same time. Jerry C, hello, Bob, Jim, and fellow junkies. Hope everyone is well this evening. I'm doing well. Hope you're doing well. Bring back the Benchmade 42 Springer Bally song. Springer, what? Oh, is that the spring in the latch? I like it. I like that idea. Desert Trance says, I would take a combat Troodon for the wow factor to the Knights of the Round Table and my RMJ Lady Death for getting gritty. Nice. And the smiley, what's that called? The Giggles or Snuggles Warhammer. That would be cool. Mike, nice to have you here, sir. Northern Knives says, hello, Jim, Bob, and junkies. Happy Thursday Night Knives to everyone. Happy Thursday Night Knives to you, Mike. Hope world's treating you well. Oh, this one. Oh, yeah. All right. That's a very unique design. I mean, it's unique, but not, it's the same, but different. I mean, it is beautiful, and I love the fuller in that blade. That's a gorgeous blade, gorgeous knife altogether, actually. Jason says, Bob, you know TKel has this super fighting knife in the works with a super cool collaborator. I'd take that one. I don't know, man. I gotta get back in touch with him. We haven't talked about that in quite a while. That would be super sweet if you're talking about this and right here. Ninjersey 1, nice to have. Oh, I already said nice to have you here. Tops Rhino made it through. Joe X Test, LOL, might have to take that. Oh, the Rhino. Oh, I know the Rhino. It's got that front. It's got a really unique shaped blade. It's like quarter-inch thick and pretty stout, pretty short. So that's cool. Yeah, that would work. Angry Tom's Hat Next Door. Nice to have you here, sir. Going back, I would take my new ZT 203, go into the best steakhouse in town and whip that out. Beautiful 203 to cut my steak. Happy Thursday night, knives. Hey, do that today, man. Do that today. I highly recommend that no one who goes and puts down good money for a nice meal, especially a steak, use that nasty, wet, wood handled dull saw that they're going to give you. Don't do it. Zero Red Black Zero. I'm going to call you Zero. Good to have you here, Zero. I would bring a gold knife and sell it for a few bodyguards. And maybe in addition, I would take the stainless steel that is soft and easy to sharpen. Oh, dude, I've had the worst time with LC200N. Really, really have. With my Spidey Chef, I had to send it off to Mike Emler to get it really, really sharp. He got it really, really sharp, and it's never. I think I may have gotten a lemon. I think I may have gotten a lemon. Liquid Cobra, nice to have you here, Liquid Cobra. I like your name. Hey, Bob, how do you find makers to interview for your show? People whose knives I like a lot of the time on Instagram, sometimes YouTube, but mostly Instagram is where I find people. Bam Bam, nice to have you here, sir. Bam Bam Oliveira says, wow, it's Thursday already. Let's get it. Oh my God. Bam Bam. Have you noticed? I mean, everyone's talking about it. And I know it's kind of trite, but yeah, time really has sped up. And it's not because I'm just 54 years old, not because I'm getting older. It's because time is speeding up. Jim's like, yes, I know, Bob. You talk about this, but it's true. All right, Five Door. Nice to have you here, Five Door. Greetings, Bob, Jim, and Junkies. I take a Swiss champ and be hailed as a god. Yes. Yes, multi-tool is a great way to go, and I didn't think of that. I'm a little embarrassed to say. New Jersey says, fictional knives, I take the Wakandan Vibranium Barong machete. All right, you had me at Barong. What's this Wakanda? I know that's a mythical land from Marvel. Vibranium, I'm assuming that's a mythical, like adamantium or some great material, but Barong machete. Yes. All right, New Jersey. I'm convinced. I would take one too. Jason Small says, Bob, have some more wine, screw it. Ha ha. Wait, have some more wine, screw it. Ha ha ha. I don't have any, but I have some ginger ale. I had to lighten the load before coming down here. And actually, that's a problem because I don't have anything else to drink here, and I get dry an hour through this show. James Hart says, I think you missed my choice, the Cold Steel 1917 Frontier Bowie. No, I remember reading that. Yeah, I think that's a great choice. Well, because it's a Bowie, but it's also big and capable. It's a great blade, and it's got a steel that they could understand because it's high carbon. I think that's a good choice. New Jersey one says vibranium or adamantium cutlass would be fun fiction. Would be fun fictional. Yes. I would take adamantium, just a little couple of blades in my forearms. Matt Maurer, nice to have you here, Matt. Bob, what up? How you doing, Matt? I'm doing all right. I answered before you even asked. Thomas Wheeler, another week, Thomas. How you doing? Take the OTF and make it go out of battery and fix it with your bare hands. Yeah, all the grapes you can eat. Yes, exactly. Or just that's a good idea. Desert Trance says, great point on the Espada XL. Well, man, that's a great knife. I thought I brought one out, but I didn't. An American Father says, I'm laid back on my couch watching with the smallest goat born curled in my lap. How cute. She will be a bottle baby, one of 3 born to a doe. Oh, with only 2 teats, with a blade themed name. Wait, first of all, what's the name? Second of all, what a beautiful picture you've described. And yeah, give that little goat a pet behind the ears, because every mammal loves a little pet behind the ears. Level on Up says, going back in time, take a knife? I suppose I'd either take a fixed blade, something easy to keep sharp, easily deployable and concealable, or I'd take my Avian Atlas V2 because it has 0. Nice. I don't know what that is. Avian Atlas 2. Well, with a name like Atlas, I'm sure it's robust at best, at least. Level on Up says hardware can be easily disassembled and reassembled without any tools. Yeah. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, that's a good idea because you might have to find your way to the village blacksmith and say, I need a number 8 Torx. Dylan, how's it going, sir? We have Dylan. We have Mallory Designs with us. Howdy, Bob, and shout out Jim. I'd have to bring my Wee Knives Eschaton. It's futuristic to me, so going back in time, it would be even cooler. Yeah, no kidding. That the Eschaton, the man, yeah, super futuristic with all of the different levels. If you think about it, it's got various levels and and Elijah Isham design. It's gorgeous and futuristic and also looks like a relic as well. Looks like something that could have come out of the Renaissance in a weird way. Thomas says, all right, you primitive screw heads, listen up. This is my boomstick, the 12 gauge double barrel Remington S-Mart, top of the line, Shop Mart. This S-Mart, you got that. Wait. Okay. Is this from Evil Dead? Let me know. Is that Evil Dead? Jason Small says, Bob, if I did take TKL back in time with me, it would end up being one of those crazy artifacts found out of time. TKL withstand a nuke. Yes, I know what you mean. Like the helicopter we've all seen in the Egyptian hieroglyphics. It looks like a Cobra attack helicopter. Johnny Evans, nice to have you here, Johnny. Another gentleman junkie with us tonight. Oh, this was, either the Miller Brothers Model 8 or 28. I don't know. I have to decide between my two sweet Miller Brothers knives. How cool is that? Don't have either. Oh, I thought you did. I thought you just got one. Don't have either, but I will when they drop again. All right. Didn't you just get one or something from them? Level on Up says, or I'd take a sword or a machete or something that, depending on exactly where and when I'm going back in time, a superior steel sword back in the Bronze Age would. Okay, all right, let's change the game. Level on Up. This is great, and some people have mentioned this too, but we don't know where we're going. We're just going back in time. It could be to 11th grade, or it could be to the 11th century AD, or it could be the 3rd century BC. It doesn't matter. You're just going back in time. What knife? One knife. What blade are you taking? It's got to be something where if you go somewhere and you might not be able to carry a sword, it might not be good for you. So let's think about it this way. Let's see. Trombini Christian 105. Nice to have you here, sir. Swiss Army knife for all the tools, says Jim. Yeah, I'm with you, Jim. That's a smart choice. Trombini Christian 105. Nice to have you here, Trombini. And I love your car. Wait, what is that? I'm going to try and figure out what that is, but I can't quite. It looks sort of like an old Ferrari Daytona, but it's not. I'm pretty sure it's not. All the rest of the styling, besides the lights, what is that? Anyway, nice car. Salute from Luxembourg. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm looking at the car, but you're calling me from Luxembourg. How cool. The only person I ever know who's ever been there is my dad. He's been to Luxembourg. Thank you. Greetings. It's awesome to have you here. I think it's the smallest country in Europe, or close to it. I think, what's the one? Monte Carlo, or I don't know. Okay. Sorry. We'll leave it there. Anyway, thanks for coming. Level on Up says, take a sword with some sort of tough steel or super steel that would come in handy 1,000+ years back. Yeah, it might come in handy, But what if you're sent to 1954? What are you going to do with that, with a sword? You know, you don't know where you're going. So this is the game is changing. JT Wig, good to have you here, JT. Obviously, Cold Steel is the popular choice, but a TRC Apocalypse wouldn't be shabby. I mean, even a Bark River knife wouldn't be shabby. No, I'm just kidding. Still love my Bark River knives. Sorry. I would take a Cold Steel, a Work Tough Gear, or a Tops if I'm going fixed blade right now, this very second. And I'm ruling out all custom knife makers because at that point, you're just getting crazy. Staff Sergeant Maximus, nice to have you here, Staff Sergeant. Good evening, everyone. First time here. Thank you. Well, thank you, sir. Good. I'm glad you joined us. Look at this. I had this out on the table, Staff Sergeant. So I figured I'd show you since you're first time here. I have my Microtech. I just traded for this from Dave of OG Blade Reviews. He got one of the 2 ram locks I bought by accident, ram lock SOCOM. I bought 2 of them. And I said, Dave, you want to trade? He said, hey, I got this. And I jumped on it. How beautiful. I got orange stained fingers, by the way. Lots of oranges today. But this thing is beautiful. I absolutely love it. It's even great in this sort of shovel thrust grip. And it's a beauty. So I'm going to put it right here. Craig says, actually, take any XL Cold Steel with the Triad lock. Strong as a fixie, won't rust, and it can disappear. And you can be seen as a wizard and would be advising kings if you go back far enough with any Cold Steel. Yeah, you'd be like, this is a lock. You know, you'd be able to show them all this stuff. Levers and shit. They're like, yeah, they had levers figured out. But did they? Yeah, I guess they did. They had pulleys. I don't know. Oh, Archimedes, give me a lever long enough and I can move the world. And he was in the ancient world, right? So, all right. All right, so you're going to have to impress them with your M390 blade steel. Level on Up says, all good. That's all Cat Scratch's fault. I was just following his lead. No knife to hashtag no knife tonight. Hashtag knife every week, but third Thursday. How about that? Let's see. Jason says, it would be cool to take the fixed Arcane Designs Necronaut back to ancient Japan. I don't know why. It would just be cool. They'd be like, they'd recognize it somehow. This is because that's a futuristic Tonto. Shad, nice to have you here, sir. Shad says, good evening, Bob, Jim, and fellow junkies. I would carry the Spyderco Manix 2XL. What a great blade. I feel myself drifting haplessly into a little Spyderco phase, Spyderco sub phase. Spydercos are just expensive enough and just weird enough and just not exactly me enough that I don't go into full-fledged phases, but I go into short bursts where there are a couple of Cold Steels. And I just got the Native Chief Crew Carta. That's crew wear with tan micarta from Shane. I can't wait to get it. It's so cool. Strings, nice to have you here, Strings. What's up, Bob? Or what's up, Bob, Jim, and fellow junkies? Actually home tonight and get to catch Thursday Night Knives early. That doesn't mean you don't have to practice your guitar tonight, Strings, just because you're not gigging, sir. No, I'm just kidding. You can relax. I think you're doing pretty well. Strings and Miranda play together. Miranda shows up sometimes. It's always good to have her here too. And they are musicians out there making a living playing music. And I admire that greatly. All right. Let's see here. Oh, we still have Strings. I think a good OTF would turn heads in the past for sure. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to ignore you, Strings, with my editorial. I didn't realize that had changed. I think you're right about that. I think eventually some of the wiser among them would realize it's mechanics, but still you'd be like, oh yeah, you have springs like this? Do you have anything that can make anything like this, including the materials? Jason says, Bob, I still want your first knife design. My first official knife design was the Nova 1. And I might, the Nova 1, you can still be had. Let's talk. We'll talk about that. You can still buy the Nova 1. You can get that through through Matt Chase, the maker. Chris P. Bacon, Mr. Bacon, nice to have you here, sir. Oh, and Steve, you'll love it, Jason. Don't know if it counts, but I'd bring my Ulu. Why wouldn't that count, Chris? No, Ulus are great. I mean, well, I've only found a very limited use case for them, but for that, they are great. Garlic, onions. I mean, I like cutting alliums with it in general. Bobby Rains, nice to have you here, Bobby. Your ears must be burning. Someone was mentioning that your Rainmaker Bowie would be the one that was Sean who said your Rainmaker would be the one he would take into the past. Evening, everyone. Another fine day to be a knife junkie. I couldn't agree more, Bobby. Could not agree more. String says, damn, you got to quit teasing with that T-Kel collaboration. I got to have it. Oh, I'm not teasing. We'll figure this out. I'm not in control of his production schedule. It could be years out. Who knows? I know he likes it and he wants to make it, but he's got to follow where the most expedient money is in this market. I am Supreme 22. Thank you so much. First time watching. Enjoy the show. Hashtag junkies. I am Supreme. Thank you so much. I am going to salute you with this very fine knife tonight. Let me show you this real quick. I know a lot of people have seen this, but since this is your first time watching I Am Supreme, this is one of my prized knives made by Matt Chase of Hogtooth Knives. This is a fighting Bowie with a fully sharpened false edge there. So it's not false, technically. It's actually quite real. But this is inspired by the Bill Bagwell fighting Bowies like the Hell's Bells and what's the other one? I can't remember what the other one is called, but this is inspired by those. Same coffin-shaped handle with the gentle curve for the fingers down here and the 4 studs on each side for gauging and figuring out where your hand is and all that and grip. And then the beautiful mono steel with the hamon here. I think it's W2. It is W2. Wrought iron guards and ringed Gidgee wood from Australia and Luke 8:17. For nothing secret shall remain hidden, nor anything covered up not be known and come to light. Salute, sir. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that. I am Supreme. And here's your swim by. Just like Bruce swimming through the water. And then, of course, Matt Chase of Hogtooth makes incredible leather sheaths. He's very, very talented. He's been doing it a long time. Mallory, Dylan says, I thought about saying my 24 karat gold plated. Oh my God, wait. I thought about saying my 24 karat gold plated Ultratech, but I think the Isham Eschaton deserves the wow factor. It does. It does. I mean, if you needed to buy your way out of a execution back in the old days, maybe maybe the gold would catch the eye of the king or whatever. But yeah, wow, 24 karat gold Microtech. Yikes! As if they weren't expensive enough already. I like the cut of your jib, sir. Jason says, show the prototype from T-Kel again, please, so I can harass them Sunday morning. This is not a prototype, just so you know. This is a 3D resin print. So here it is. Based on the Yatagan, the Turkish Yatagan fighting knife. Double-edged, fully sharpened. I guess you wouldn't call that a fully sharpened double-edged. You would call that a recurve bayonet double ground fighting knife. Yeah, this thing, and I gotta say, it feels so good in hand. And he made a small version of this too, and that also feels really good in hand. So this is a little bit bigger. Like here it is with the Outrider. So it's a little bit bigger. And here it is with the Agent 001. So maybe the smaller one would sell better first. I don't know. But I'm of the school of thought that you start big and then pare back. Hero Sticks says, evening and cheers. Hero Sticks, nice to have you here, sir. I'd probably take my Microtech LUDT, and automatic would probably garner some gasps and awe from the onlookers. Yeah, your LUDT is red too. And they'd be like, what is this magical material? It's red, like, what is it? Gesso. No. What are they? Well, anyway, all right, I'm going to stop right there. Victor, nice to have you here, sir. Staten Island Edge says, I would take one of my winter blades and become the town sorcerer. Yes, sir. The power of magnets. No kidding. Those things are beautiful. Sean says, Bob, you ever see a knife that's a gun too? That would be the way to go. Yeah, I've seen those, like muskets that have knives and knife guns and sword cane guns and all that beautiful stuff. Ichthyander gifted one Knife Junkie membership. What do you mean you gifted it? Does that mean you got it for yourself or you gave it to Ichthyander? Thank you, man. I appreciate that. That's awesome. I'm not sure what that means. Is that you becoming a member? I hope so. Terminator Joe says picking one is head scratching. I'm thinking I would bring the Apollo Navaja. That's the and the blacked out mayhem. Yes, we need the top 13 list with honorable mentions. A top 13. I like that. Coburn NYX. Good to have you here, Coburn. Hello, I'm up to 6 cold steel prototypes. Holy mackerel. How do you find these? I found one that was never released because it was too cool. All right. You can't just say that to me. I've been following them since the mid 80s. What is this one? Tell me about this prototype that is so cool that they couldn't release it because it was too cool. You got to tell me what that is. I've been with cold steel for a long time. I got to know what this is because there are some that I missed out on buying. Strings helped me out on one of those with a trade. There are some that are gone, lost to time, but I can't think of hearing about one that was just too cool. They wouldn't release it. So you got to let me know what it is. And then also let me know what your other prototypes are. You mentioned them last week. You mentioned one of them last week. And I think that'd be cool to have personally. That's a collector's item for sure. Karen Slavin, nice to have you here, Karen, AKA James. Happy Thursday Night Knives, fellow junkies. I have a great 15-inch clip point Bowie with a diamond sharpener and fire starter rod on the sheath that some cavemen might find a little fascinating. That's a great idea. Great idea. Bring something back for the fire steel. Duh. Yes. Brown Sugar. Nice to have you here, Brown Sugar. Hello, Bob and fellow junkies. Hello, Brown Sugar. Hope the world's treating you right. Jason says, I think I'd like to go back and grab some knives like Cossack sabers. I love those Cossack. The short ones are the ones I know. And World War II trench knives, etc. Yes. Yeah. A lot of great stuff in the past. Wasp injection knife, says Angry Tom's hat next door. Now that's the one they used to like kill sharks. Is that right? James Hart says, yes, Evil Dead 2, I believe. Thomas Wheeler says, Army of Darkness. All right. Yeah, man. I knew it. And I'm not a big fan of those movies. But I know that I've seen 1 and 2, the first one and the second one. And just, I knew it was that. Coben says, today I got the Emperor Collection Tonto prototype, paid $1,000. Oh my gosh, man. I'm curious, obviously, and you probably won't let us know, but what's your connection? What's your hookup to get cold steel prototypes? That's pretty nice. Craig says, Bob, before I leave the past, I checked with the Cold Steel customer service rep. They don't have a great record with pocket clips, but imagine trying to get a decent toga clip out of them. Hey. All you got to do, Fishbag, is just sand it down a little. It just takes some sand from the river, sand it down a little, the G10, and then just take your Gladius and pry open the clip just a little bit. Cold Steel Warhawk and original Urban Dart combo. That Urban Dart was so oddly overpriced. I remember they came out with the Urban Dart right around the same time they came out with the first series of Spike models, and the Urban Dart was like $100, and all the other Spike models, which kind of were in a similar vein because they're small and slender and didn't have much finish and that kind of thing. But it was like $100. Everything else was like 15. I was like, what is this price disparity? Thomas says, I was trading case knives in class back in 10th grade, maybe around 1988. You were in 10th grade, 88. I was in 11th. No. Well, I was in 11th grade at the end of, so you were a couple of years below me in high school, and you were trading case. I was using Swiss Army knives to remove every visible screw in my school. It was a weird prank, but it lasted for about half a year and stuff started falling apart. It was me and two friends. Coben says, I think solid platinum sword to sell it. Okay. All right, Coben, where are you getting this solid platinum sword? Tell me where you're getting that. And then how are you going to convince someone that they need to give you all this money for this platinum? They might, I don't know, man. I don't know. Explain further, please. Johnny Evans says, great memory, Bob. Yes, I recently got a Miller Brothers Model 8 Compact and Model 27. They have convinced me the only way to improve them is to go bigger. Right on. And I see with them, I see a trend of them kind of downsizing some of their models just because there are three brothers that are freaking giants. And they realize that us mere mortals might not be able to wield the same stuff they do. So I've seen them kind of shrink down some of their stuff a little bit. That's funny. I admire it greatly. They have this like double-edged kind of traditional looking Japanese tanto type thing lately that looks so damn sweet. But I think it's double-edged, which makes it better. Red Flag says, interesting to say take back a super steel sword. Oh yeah. The Ulfbert swords were produced around the 9th to 11th century, tested to be similar to S30V, if memory serves. Yeah, but there are only like two living, or there are very, 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 very few living examples. And at the time, that Ulfbert, if that's right, steel was like many orders of magnitude greater than what everyone else had. Which makes it odd. It's almost like some sort of genius, and you can imagine this, imagine like an Elon Musk type or someone who's just kind of very, very bright back in the gold in the freaking dark ages, figures out sword steel and then produces some swords and then dies, and then boom, that shit's gone forever. Until we come up with S30V. Trombini says Toyota MR2 Turbo 91. Okay. Oh, that's what that is. Okay. I remember these. Okay. Nuremberg Ring Nordschleife, the Green Hell. All right. My dad in the 80s bought a German car. And he went to Germany to learn how to drive it. It was a guy trip, but basically he went over. That was in Pfaffenhausen, which I think is near Nuremberg. But that is cool. That is sweet. And those MR2s, man. I was just out of high school when that model came out, and I thought those things were the bee's knees. James Hart says, yes, the Ulfbert swords were made from crucible steel, which was very good steel, but hard to make. Small C crucible steel. Yeah, not capital C. Ichthiander says, not knowing the timeline is tricky. Yeah, I can't remember exactly what we're talking about with the timeline. But remind me, Jim will remind me. He'll say, dumbass, we were just talking about this. JT says, I'm kind of in a Spyderco phase. And I would say also, your question, says Jim. Thank you. Just bought 2. Want to see if the hype is real. My 49 9 to 50. Okay. All right. So JT, yes, the hype is absolutely real. And the hype is about great construction, fit and finish. And I'm not a Spyderco fanboy, though I have great respect. So it's build, fit, and finish. They make their knives in 5 different countries. They're all spectacular, all have different qualities and characters, many different designs, all kind of weird, all in a almost all a little bit ugly. Great blade geometry, great heat treat, and very open-minded about steels. I mean, no, open-minded is an understatement. They experiment and go off with a whole bunch of different steels. Spyderco is an absolutely spectacular company, an excellent maker of excellent knives. They just look weird, and when you get over that, they don't look weird, and then they're just great. So yes, they're worth the hype. Sean Clark says, Bob, I grabbed a Bastinelli Addiction Tomahawk this week from eKnives, sending to Bastinelli to get a Tsukamaki bronze Manuki. Holy mackerel, Sean. I want to hang with you, brother. I like how you roll, sir. And whatever else the kids say. Yeah. I can see that because I know the look of his tomahawk. And then he does he does great Tsukamaki wraps. And you're doing it to get a Manuki. It's going to be beautiful. Level on Up says Ford GT Mark IV Green Hell 615 run was ballistic looking. All right, wait. Ford GT. That's the one that's super, super low to the ground, sleek, designed in the 60s. Looks like a supercar with the slopes and the Ford GT. But I don't know the Mark IV. Green Hell 615 run was ballistic. Glad to see gas cars getting it done, but Porsche's 919 hybrid Evo 1519 record is insane. Probably won't be beat for a long time. Porsches, how are you going to beat a Porsche? Porsches are the best. I love the old Porsches. The 911 from the 80s is my favorite car. I absolutely love Porsches. And I agree. They're like Spydercos. They're a little weird looking, some of them, at least they used to be. And but man, they're performers, and that's what makes them charming. Weird, little weird looking, not as graceful and beautiful and sophisticated as the Italians, but great performers. Ronald Dobbins, sorry, sir. Good to have you here, Ronald. Hello, I picked up a customized Herman micro sting knife. Very nice, man. I have one Herman, Ronald, and it is spectacular. So that is a very nice pickup. Congratulations, pickup. Like you just picked it up. I'm sure it cost a pretty penny. That's a very nice acquisition, sir. String says, believe it or not, I just bought my first paramilitary too. I resisted for years. Yeah, I know. I'm sure it's all crap. It's like Forrest Gump. If everyone loves it, I'm sure it's crap. I resisted for years, but the crew Carta finally reeled me in. I gotta say, I'm liking it way more than I imagined. So I have I have one paramilitary too, old school, all the way, and I still love it. And it's one of my most used still. Bam Bam says Cold Steel 1917 Frontier Bowie and may go back in early 1900s and save a politician or president somehow in California and use my heroism to change the future strict knife law. Oh, strict knife laws of California. Hey, this is a forward-thinking knife junkie. I like this. He's going back in time with his 1917, saving a couple of politicians with that knife and saying, see, don't ever let this is going to happen. Don't let it happen. That sounds ridiculous. Laws about knives. I know it sounds ridiculous, but they will happen. I'm not going to go off. I'm not going to editorialize, but we have so many freaking laws. We have so many laws on the books, and every year, thousands more. We have so many laws. And then the famous thing about every year, every one of us who live in the United States, you break 3 laws. We're a felon 3 times over every day. Let's talk about something better. Trombini says, that's correct. Luxembourg is the smallest country. Small and very esteemed. And as my father said, quite beautiful. So nicely done, sir. James Hart says, after listening to everyone's choices, I've come to a conclusion. You would have to be careful what you take, or maybe be called a warlock or worse. You'd need something that would blend in. I didn't say you couldn't take like a Mac 10, a silenced Mac 10 to quell the uprisings. That is doable. And we're just talking about the knives you would bring. We're not talking about other crowd control. You could have what is that thing? A Vulcan. Edgy American Blade said, Shane, nice to have you here, sir. Good evening, peeps. Sorry I'm late. Been hustling at the shop all day. On my birthday, he drops casually. Salud, even though it's empty. Well, I'm not going to cheers you with an empty glass. Shane, excuse me. Happy birthday, my man. I am the same age as you are. I think you're now I know you're a few months older than I am, but happy birthday to our distinguished and wise gentleman, Shane. Happy birthday, sir. I'm happy for you, and I'm coming right after you here, sir. James Hart says a good example and one that existed is the Elgin Cutlass pistol. A single shot muzzle loader with a large knife under the barrel. Yeah, that's cool. I think who was just mentioning that? That's the one that I was thinking of the big knife with the barrel with the gun on top. But there's also one that I've seen that has brass. It's a threefer. It's got brass knuckles. It's got a trigger guard with a trigger right outside the brass knuckles, and a knife that folds, or a gun knife that folds down. It's a fourfer. Or no, it is a threefer. Brass knuckles, gun, knife, all in one. Beautiful. And it folds. I mean, perfect. EDC. HCL Salt. Nice to have you here, sir. Gifting the membership means he gave it away to another random viewer. That is so nice. Thank you for explaining that, HCL Salt. And then thank you for gifting that membership. That is really, really cool. And remind me who you were, please, in email, TheKnifeJunkie@gmail.com. Please remind me who gifted that membership. That's really cool. Coben says, I got prototype Magnum. I almost brought it out, but I have a current production model. I got the prototype Magnum Tonto 12, Gurkha Kukri American and Japanese, Recon Tonto, Emperor Tonto. Okay, so that's okay. And more traditional, and the cold steel Tonto with 12-inch blade you've never seen before. Oh, smack! That sounds awesome, man. I like. I mean, we talk about deep cuts on this show sometimes. Those are obviously wickedly deep cuts, seeing as they're all prototypes. But I'm curious. I don't need you to reveal anything you can't, but since it's a prototype that never came to, I'm sure you did not sign an NDA. But in case you did, describe without describing too much about this 12-inch Tonto we've never seen. I'd be interested to find that out. String says, I'd love to go back in time and witness the sandbar duel so I can finally know for sure what the original Bowie really looked like. Yeah. I like that. Oh, I see a couple of agents in that 005s, I think. Bulldog Smith Farms EDC. Bulldog, nice to have you here, sir. I'm a lurkin. LOL. I'm always a lurkin. Well, it's good to have you here, Bulldog. I'm glad you said hi. Lurk away, sir. Lurk away. I am Supreme 22. Good to have you here. I'm Supreme. This is next level cutlery. I'm a budget blade bro. I ordered an SRM Terrier. SRMs are sweet. Earlier today with the enamel blade. Oh, okay. So I am Supreme. You might notice mine. I go by Knife Junkie, and that means like it can be fancy, expensive knives. I have a lot of them right in front of me, but it can also be super inexpensive. I love the $3 Walmart bait knife. I have that. I will buy. I just love knives. So it's that's expensive, and I like that. We just like things that are sharp, well heat treated, and have an edge. I don't care how much it costs or whatever. I don't like bad design. That's for sure. Like this one, for instance, I've been using this and playing with it all week long. It's it's an inexpensive Kershaw assisted open, like from the mid 2000s that my brother-in-law gave me, designed by Les George. It's a beautiful knife. It's awesome, but it's cheap and whatever. As a knife junkie, it's got a little rust on it. What can I say? But it's a great knife. So no matter the cost. Johnny Evans, I love their swords and machete type blades, but I know my limitations. I am very fond of all my body parts. No kidding. And like I said, I'm pretty sure they're all younger than I am, which means they're very young, and they're all big guys. So I mean, like, it's at a certain point, do you want to be swinging around a 4-pound sword? Probably not. Fish Ranch in California. Good to have you here, Fish Ranch. T. Kel. I'm not exactly sure. Oh, that's what you would bring back. That's a good idea. T. Kel. What model though? I think I'd bring the Outrider probably, or I could bring the 001. Be like, look, I helped. This is my design. No, I'd bring back the Outrider. Strings says, hey Bob, did you ever see any of the Bearing technical knives? No, not technical, but Bearing made knives. I have. Oh yeah. It was Treatment and Son tactical line. Oh, I've got a line on an awesome large clip point. Okay. So I've seen the Bearing knives and held them and talked to the guy who's now making them. This was 2 years ago. Right. It was Treatment and Son. And all right. So no, my answer is no, but that sounds sweet. I know what they look like. And oftentimes it's a stag and stacked leather handle combination that is just so. Northern Knife says, I take your knife shop Roomba and I'd glue a buck knife to the top of it. Very nice. Yeah, that's a good idea, actually. Jason Small says, good luck on the giveaway, fellow junkies. It's movie time with my baby girl, Jovi. It's early here in the Pacific Northwest. Love y'all. Jason, salud. Have a wonderful night with your lady, and let's talk next week. Take care, man. Shot on Christmas. Oh, I hope you're talking about photography and not your body. Late to the party, I would take my new Work Tough Gear Primal. Oh, nice choice. All right, so the only Work Tough gear I have out tonight, and I've got 4. I'm trying to make that 3. I want to get rid of my small Steadfast and get something else since I have the large. But this knife right here, oh my gosh. I've been obsessing over this one recently because Reese, the guy who designed this, Reese of Well Regulated, has been showing all of his V44Xs and whatever's B's and C's off. And I've just been into him. John Sisney, nice to have you here, John. I gave the world the 110 by going back to 1963 because AI beat. Need some help. It could have been a lot different. Oh, John, can you go back again, sir? I just have 1 or 2 changes to make. Staten Island Edge says, please, Bob, don't get me started with laws. Remember where I'm from. Yep. Sickening. I used to be a proud New Yorker. And by the way, guess what kind of car I drive? I'll give you a hint. Starts with a P. Porsche. Ah, you're the man. Victor. Not only are you Victor, because all the men in my family, except for me and my other grandpa, are Victor. Lots of Victors in my family. And Porsches. That was my dad's car. He loved Porsches. So, Victor, what are you doing? And also the knife laws. Makes me sad. Yo, don't ever stop being a proud New Yorker. New York State is a beautiful place. New York City is the best city. I still believe that. It's just, it's a temporary thing with bad politicians. You just got to eventually clear them out. Like congestion, just put a little Vicks on the chest, go to sleep, wake up, and they're gone, hopefully. But New York will come back. It always does this, right? Ichthiander says, how much ammo can we bring? Oh, as much as you can carry. And from your looks, sir, you can carry much. JT says, I live in Texas. I love Texas. You can carry a sword if you want. Clubs, saps, brass knuckles, all legal. Brass knuckles. Funny you should say that. I got these on the table today that my brother gave me for Christmas this past year. And one thing I feel like people don't remember about brass knuckles is that they make for great hammer fisting too. You don't have to just punch like this. If you just use if they're larger than your hand can accommodate, which most brass knuckles are for me, think about the hammer fist. Consider the hammer fist, people. Don't always go for the straight punch. Hammer fist, you'll save your knuckles that way. I swear you will. And this comes from hitting in the heavy bag with, I have 4 or 5 different pairs of brass knuckles. Most of them are too big for me because I got these little hands. To quote Jake LaMotta, I got these medium-sized hands. I'll never fight the best. I'll never fight Joe Louis. But I've hit the heavy bag with them straight on. Or if you hit them with a hammer fist from the side, and this goes for without a, in general, if you got to hit something, hit them with this part. It'll go better for your hand. I'm sorry, I missed your comment, Byron. I was waxing poetic. Justin.musica. Justin, nice to have you here, sir. Hashtag knife. He says, tonight, it's the 3rd Thursday. So we're giving this is only for gentlemen junkies tonight. It's this custom Shed Knives 2026 Tonto. And we're going to be doing this in about 5 minutes. Byron says, maybe I should take a cold steel throwing blade back. Yeah. To the Ford Theater in DC. Say, 1865, and show Mary Todd how to wing it at how to wing that puppy toward the stage. Oh, Byron. You're playing with fire, sir. You are playing with fire. What are you trying to do? CERN already changed the timeline, bro. What are you trying to do? Do it again? James Hart says, yeah, I know the knuckle duster, knife, pistol, brass knuckles. Yeah, they were very popular items for gangs in England back in the day. No kidding. Bring it back. Bring that culture back to England, which has fallen. I have good friends in England, and I love my British brothers and sisters, but man, that country has fallen. Hopefully they get back on their feet right quick. Terminator Joe says, I don't live in Virginia. Oh, don't you live in Virginia? Yes, I do, sir. No, she has not banned knives yet. Didn't she attempt to ban boomsticks? It hasn't been an attempt so far. It's been a very successful, it's been very successful so far, but I don't think it will last. What do I know? We'll see. We'll see. I don't think I'm the only one of this mind in this Commonwealth. The White Witch. Strings says, I'll resend my address if needed to ship the Gentleman Junkie giveaway. I like that. All right. You almost had me. That was like mind control for a second. Get him while he's vulnerable. Get him while he's talking about his governor. Send me the knife. Sean Clark says, Maligan makes a fighting knife with a revolver gun setup. Check it out. Pretty crazy. Maligan. I haven't heard of this. Writing it down. Oh my gosh. We got to do this giveaway and we got to do a pocket check. But first, we got to talk to Shane. Shane says, I'm back. I fielded 3 orders in the past hour. Business is good. Here for Shane. Here for Shane. Let me put this very dangerous V44 Expo away and read Will B's comment. He says, Bob, you're wanting to part with your work tough gear Steadfast? Yes, my small one. I have 2 of them. I have the 5.5 inch and the 7 inch. Now that I have the 7 inch, I'm like, yes. So I would love to. And it is in perfect condition. It's a great, maybe not perfect, but it's a great knife. And I'll give you a great price. So we'll talk about it. But we will only talk about it after this coming up. This pocket check.
What's in his pocket? Let's find out. Here's the Knife Junkie with his pocket check of knives.
In my front right pocket today, oh man, it's been hard to get rid of this. I don't mean to bore you constantly, but I love this knife. And if you have any love for Microtech, you probably will like this too. I'm a huge Microtech fan and a huge SOCOM fan. And this has been the bee's knees. This is the SOCOM RAM lock. The RAM lock is their version of sort of the ambidextrous bar lock, though instead of a bar, like Benchmade and everyone else, it's more of a block. So it's a little bit different, but it's kind of you sort of approach it the same way on the handle anyway, and it locks in the same fashion. But this is a new production from Microtech Knives, much thinner stock than all other SOCOM models. Also, it doesn't have that taper from wide to thin, going from ricasso to pommel that most have. This one is out of aluminum, and unlike the other Ramlock models, so far it is not coming in G10 is just aluminum, I think, unless you go for the Delta, which is another line up, but it looks very similar. Anyway, I love everything about this knife. I love how thin the blade stock is and how wickedly sharp it is. Let me put it this way. Microtech makes their obliquely ground blades, which they have a few, wickedly sharp. Now imagine what they do with a very thin behind the edge style knife. Well, that is what they do with this, and it's great. One little thing I do have to listen. That is the screw. It comes undone. I do have to Loctite it, and I'm not crazy about that, but I have to Loctite the pivot. I had to do that on my SOCOM Bravo made by Reich as well. Next up in my pocket, as has been the case for the last 2 weeks or so, the new Gateway Barlow from Jack Wolf Knives. This is the second release of their Gateway Barlow. The Gateway series intended to reel people into the brand. The brand started off very high end with only with high end premium knives, and since then, after the first 2 years and about 24 or so models, they started introducing some more budget friendly models like this one. $75, beautiful fit. It's put together gorgeously and great materials, but not the top notch. So 154 cm, great steel, but not the absolute top. You've got this nice camo carbon in the Miami pattern, and you have the triple fluted. I'm sorry, my orange stained fingers are making me laugh now. I ate a bunch of oranges today. You got the steel bolsters, triple fluted, really awesome, great knife. I love this and the rosewood version of this, the first run of Gateway Barlows I have, and I just drop them in the pocket and don't worry about it, because I'm not dealing with a $350 knife. I'm dealing with a $75 knife rattling around in my pocket, ready to do anything you need it to do, being realistic. All right, next up from from Savage Creature Defense Tools, it's my Masako Hachi. I'm sorry, I didn't even add the model name in my notes. It's the Masako Hachi, yeah, that's right. Beautiful double-edged knife. This is a I think it's 1095 or 1075, some high carbon steel in the tens, and a beautiful treatment to that surface. I love this knife because you can use it like a hawkbill, you can use it like a Persian, you can use it like a standard knife in reverse grip call style, or you can do this. No matter how you have it turned, it's gonna cut nasty, but it's also really, really beautifully made. Look at that Manuki. There's one on both sides, and you got that red genuine ray skin there, and that gorgeous Tsukamaki wrap. Made by Roger Pearson, great knife maker from Savage Creature Defense Tools. Okay, my ESK today, my emotional support knife, excuse me, was this SOG Tech Bowie. Got this a couple of weeks back. I love this thing. Even though it's got that cheesy sticks in my craw shiny ass SOG logo right in the middle of the handle. I still love this knife because most of the time my hand is covering that cheesy logo. But I have always been a big fan of the Mac V SOG blade shape, and I think SOG does it best. I mean, I've seen others do it. Like, I'd love to have a Vehement Blades version, but hey, I don't have $2,500 kicking it to get a custom version of the SOG Mac V SOG knife. So until I do, this one will have to do. So today I had the Microtech SOCOM Ram lock on me. I had the Gateway Barlow from Jack Wolf Knives. I had the Dangerous Creature Defense Tools, or Savage Creature Defense Tools, Masako Hachi, and I had the SOG Tech Bowie. I love this knife. I'm really, really digging this. I want to get the leather stacked version, and then maybe I'll sell this. Proud to be a gentleman junkie, says Edgy American. Well, that's awesome, man. I'm glad to have you as one. Mars Capone, good to have you here, Mars Capone. What year am I trying to blend in? RMJ's Trench Raider could be my choice. I don't know. You don't know. That's the whole point. You're called to this appointment. You show up. You're getting in this box, and you're going somewhere. You have no idea. Victor says, God bless you, brother. You got me all emotional over here. Nothing more I want than for New York to come back. Thanks for saying that. I'm not crying. You're crying. I got something in my eye. I'm not crying. Yeah. It's all the pollen. Oh, it will. That's the beauty of New York, and that's the history of it. All you got to do is look at it. It just keeps coming back. It's an undulating pattern. Will B says, cool. I'll email you. Awesome, man. Let me know. Koban says, I feel like I've had the best luck of any knife collector ever. I've only been collecting knives like 7 months. No kidding. That's interesting, Coben. I've been collecting them ever since I could, like was allowed to by my parents. So very early, because my grandpa gave me this first knife right here. My grandpa gave me this scout knife right here, made by Cut. Oh, this is a Camillus. I'm sorry, by Camillus. And this knife, all throughout my childhood, I used this the most. That is the tool. I had all these schemes. I snuck in while my brother was watching Taxi Driver, and I tried to make a thing on my arm that I could hide under my sleeve I didn't have the gun, but to make the gun or the knife or something slide out from under my sleeve. I used that all, and the screwdriver. That knife was my everything tool. Right here. Hero Stick says, carry my Birch Tree Blades Secant. What an awesome knife with the new orange paper micarta scales and Stumpfish slip joint in orange bone. I think you carried this week. I think you carried this last week. That Secant, Hero Sticks loaned me a couple of years back. What a freaking beautiful knife the Birch Tree Secant is. And then he took the very handsome and sensible green micarta scales off and put on some crazy and dangerous orange paper micarta scales. Koban says, I think 4 of my prototypes came from Hattori. He is the grandmaster of Japanese knives. Freaking cool, dude. I love that. Have you ever looked into the Junkie knives of the 80s and the Hattori knives and the others from the 80s and early 2000s? I think you'd be into them. If you haven't, I'm sure you have. But Edgy American says, in the pocket today, Edgy American Blades Thug, Freeman 451, and the S45 Little Native in the watch pocket. How is the Little Native? I have the Micro Jimbo. It's adorable. I really like tiny knives. I just don't carry them, but I like them. Mikey Bobby, good to have you here, Mikey. Don't those have a bad stop pin placement, the SOCOM? No. I mean, I've spine whacked the crap out of this. No. This is the same stop pin placement as the Bravo and as the old school Elites. The only difference is the old school Elites and the Bravo, I think, had a shroud of, instead of it being visible, there was aluminum that came together in a clamshell fashion over the stop pin, so you couldn't actually see it. But as far as I've seen some videos, but nothing that has a legitimate. I don't know. This one's fine. This one's fine. Wait. Sorry. Let me go back. I think what you're referring to is because it's got the giant choil. And I know the choil, which in my case, I don't mind it, even though I'm not a choil guy, but that choil sticks in a lot of craws, and it could come, you could have another 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch of cutting edge, except for the fact that it's got to stop here on this tail end of the ram lock. So it's not bad stop pin placement. It's the size of the ram lock and the distance back that it travels. And you can't have the edge stop on it. Byron says, carry tonight is the Concept Bison. Ah, what a great knife from Ray Laconico, and the CRC traditional pocket knives, Lake Champlain Barlow Warney M390 saw cut. I love that. So I have the clip point Lake Champlain with my Carta. Fishbag says, Bob, in my carry today were 2 new knives. I love that. The Cold Steel Immense or Colossus, very nice. And a Mallory design. Oh, I love the Hadros, Civivi Hadros. That's the only Mallory design I have in my collection, unfortunately. Modded by the hands of the man himself. Very nice. Also an 8010 and 3V and an XL Recon 1. Swift 3 and FM 1. Very nice, man. Miranda, nice to have you here, Miranda. Hey, y'all. Hey, all. Happy Thursday Night Knives. Well, it's good to have you here, Miranda. Hope you're doing well. Red Flag says, pocket check. Gunfighter Customs Sicario, El Jefe, and Gunfighter. So 3 Gunfighter Customs on him. Plus the TKEL Agent 001, the Microtech SOCOM Elite Auto, the Scarab Gen 2, Cold Steel Raja 2, Rosecraft, Otter Creek Barlow, Blue Micarta, ESK Night. Okay. ESK Night, TKEL Night. This is a full and complete collection. I mean, if you were to have a 10 knife collection or 9 knife collection, this would be it. Michael, you won. It's nice. Coben says, Knife Junkie, a major Hattori exporter got shut down. That's where I got 2 of my prototypes. You should check them out. Oh, no kidding. Okay, I will. Hattori. Thank you. Yes, I bought a cat's. Oh, yeah, the alley cat. I see a jungly available too. How cool, the alley cat. Coben's got some, he's got some of the deep knowledge. I like it. Gary Bacot, before things got all, ball bearings and all that. Gary Bacot says, greetings, Bob and Junkies. If I could only take one knife back in time, not knowing where I would end up, it would have to be a clip point Bowie in modern steel and materials. Gary, me too. String says, right front pocket, PM2 Crew Carta, left front pocket, Riat Boker, Urban Barlow. Nice. On the hip. Oh, love this. Tops, Tex Creek. All right. I think we have to do this giveaway, Jim. Hero Stick says, Bob, if you had to choose a Microtech #1 favorite, what would it be? SOCOM Elite. It would be the SOCOM Elite. I love the SOCOM Elite. And for me, it would be like my 2013 model. But I love the SOCOMs. But it's very close. The Stitch, I love. The Amphibian, like right behind the SOCOM. James Hart says, okay, I'm off, everyone. See some of you next week. James, have a wonderful weekend, sir. Thank you for coming. Thank you for your conversation, as always. I hope you have a great weekend. Jason says, today's carry was my Tenable Kratos. Oh, by Oh Stop Hell. Check out his other designs. This guy rules. He does. He's a great guy too. There interview a few years back with him on the Knife Junkie podcast. He's a cool dude. Oh, and he had a baby the day before. The day before he was on the show. I'm like, what are you doing here? I also have my Greg Moffitt custom call. Okay, I want the Greg Moffitt Chris. He makes some really, really cool blades. Greg Moffitt does. All right, let's do this giveaway. Jim just brought up the names of our gentleman junkies. Where to go? Gentleman junkies, both on Patreon and on YouTube. Here is the knife for giveaway. But let me read off these names if I could, and I'll start with this second page. Ryan Lynch, Scott Nelson, Sean Welford, Stephen Michael Roberts, Thomas Butler, V2, Victor Salameni, Northern Knives, Will Be, An American Father, Jay Wesley, Jacob Vargas, Transmaster, Terminator Joe, Commander Bell, Edgy American Blades, Hero Sticks, Jennifer J4 101, Mailbox 32, Kill Kenny, Sean Clark, Angry Tom's Hat Next Door, and Five Door, Adrian Fighter 35, Ben Belkin, Byron Kennedy, Colin Maison Pierre. We have Craig Vincent, Dion Page, Dirk Pinkerton, Donald Fry, Doug Bull, Gary Balmain, Gordon Tillman, Hero Sticks, Jacob Vargas, Jamin Parker, Jason Small, Jeff Wright, Jeremy Giroux, Jesse Tellis, Jock Snife, John Marchell, Johnny Evans, JVF, Larry Elizondo, Like It Sharp, Martin Gamboa, Matthew Lamana, Maya Umu, Michael Elliott, Master Sergeant Poppy, Never Enough Knives 007, Ronald Reimer, Ryan Lynch, Scott Nelson, Sean Welford, and I think we've gotten there. I think we've doubled over. Okay, cool. Thank you guys and gals, one and all. I appreciate you greatly. And I hope you all win this knife. And I know that's not possible. All right, so let's do this, Jim. Let's roll this wheel in 3, 2, and 1. There it goes, ladies and gentlemen, where it stops. Your guess and mine equal. Scott Nelson. It's Scott Nelson. All right, I'm going to write your name, Scott, on a Post-it. And if you are here, Scott, send me your address. If not, Scott, you are a gentleman junkie, so I have your address somewhere, hopefully, if you originally sent it when you signed up. Sometimes people just, like, there's some gentleman junkies, a few, who I've never heard from. They've just signed up, and I've never, hey, send me your address. I want to send you stickers. Hey, you want a knife? I want to send you your knife. Just never hear from them. So please be sure to send me your information. Scott Nelson. All right, let me put that under there. Put that to the side. Shane says, I will forfeit a bit of cutting edge for a nice finger choil. I have to force myself not to add a choil when I'm designing. Interesting. Is that because you want it or because it looks like it should be there? Glazehound. How you doing, Glazehound? Good to have you here, sir. Today's carry was a Tanto Umnumzan. That's the kind I have. I love that. I'm not crazy about the clip point Umnumzan blade shape, but I love that Tanto. Sage 6. What is that? Sage 6. What is the lock on the Sage 6? And a little native Warney. Oh, beautiful, man. But the Sage 6, what is that? Sage 5 was the compression lock. I know they honored Sal Glesser. 6 must have been. What is it? What is the Sage 6? Someone tell me or I'm going to freak out. All right, Victor says, kept it simple today. I rock my Great Eastern Cutlery Viper 47, the one that started it for me, in my left pocket, and clipped to my right my Sharp by Design Mini Evo. Victor, you're a classy gent, sir. I always like your carry. Let's see, Sage 6. Button compression lock. Oh, interesting. Okay. I was going to say that, but I didn't because I thought the Sage series is to honor the sages or the most wise of the knife industry with their most wise lock inventions. Well, they honored themselves twice with the 5 and the 6, because the 5 is the compression lock that Sal Glesser invented, and the 6 is basically the button compression lock, which he also invented, right? When he did the smock. Am I right about this? Or am I being conspiratorial? Let me know. Bartholomew says, today's carry, the petrified fish beluga, the cold steel FM1, the Spyderco Native 5, Demco 8020, Slim Barong, Manaj, I want that. And ESK, a Station 9 Partisan. Chef's kiss. Excellent, excellent carry. You've got the budget-minded Chinese. You've got the American-made excellent. You've got it all, man. Jason Small says, Bob, I think Dave from OG Blade Reviews likes the original Kratos from O Stop Hell. Bob has a very manly, tactical Microtech LUD. It's so tactical. It's so manly. It's so manly and sure of itself that it's purple. It doesn't have to prove anything to Shane about its manliness. So it's purple because purple is royal and holy at the same time, both royal and holy, and not worried about Shane's opinion. Shane, it's all right though, right? I mean, it's cool, right? You think it looks cool. Todd Carr says, evening, everyone. Todd, nice to have you here, sir, from America's northern brother. Jason says, I would love a Greg Moffat bastard child. Is that the Chris? One of my grails. His stuff is so cool. I don't know why I've like resisted Greg Moffat's knives for so long. And I even got on his mailing list years ago. Why? I haven't bought anything yet. I gotta pull the trigger. Strings, Bob, if you could only carry one, oh my God, what would it be? Your favorite, not sentimental. I mean, are we talking folding or? I mean, you know. Oh, okay. All right. This is an easy out right here. This is what I would carry. The Agent 001. This is what I would carry. And if it wasn't this, it would be the Nova 1 or 2. I know that's cheap. That's a cheap way out. But really, that's actually kind of how I feel. Definitely I love the Agent 001. Yeah, Karen says, or James says, hey, Bob, can you please hold up that gorgeous wide blade Bowie and remind me who makes it? Okay. I think you're talking about this one. This is the widest blade Bowie I have out on the table tonight. This is the Work Tough Gear. Here, let me put this under the Work Tough Gear V44. And in this case, it's the X, the V44X. Now, there's the V44B. I believe it's the B that doesn't have the choil. It's the same exact blade length and cutting edge, though the overall length is shorter because there's no choil. So it's just down a little, 3/4 of an inch. There's a C, that's the compact model, which I really want to get, which is not, there was a very small drop of them. But these are hot, and I think they're available now. Not exactly like this. This is the second run, but it's a very popular knife, and it is awesome. You can see from the battle scars on it. I've done, wood stuff with it, pounding it through wood, batoning and cutting down saplings and stuff like that. And for all that stuff, it's great. Sean says, Bob, I will see you in Saratoga next month, and anyone in Northeast looking for a knife show in Sturbridge, Mass. this Sunday. Oh, no kidding. Sturbridge, Mass. So Saratoga Springs, New York. I'm so much looking forward to that. That's going to be so much fun. That is the town where I went to college in the early 90s, but it's also the town where I'm just incidentally, where I'm going for. It's not. We're not only doing Rolando is doing a Bowie knife fighting class. I'm very excited about, but he's also doing some JKD, and I've done. That's my martial art. He's going to do a seminar on that. I'm looking forward to that, and anything else I can catch. But just being up there, it's so beautiful too, man. I'm looking forward to it. So I will see you there, Sean. Cesario says, hey, Bob, didn't notice my name up there. I thought I signed up for a year. Yeah, you're there. Cesario. I had you on my list. I got you. Yep. Byron, right after Byron Kennedy, right before Colin Maison Pierre. I didn't say Cesario at tone. I just said Cesario. But yeah, you were up there. Edgy American Blade says, I always want a choil, but they don't appeal to everyone. Yeah. But just on that note, Cesario, we'll check the wheel, make sure you were on there. After we're done with the show. Jason says, I lied today. I carried all of the cold steel spears. I couldn't make it into the house. Oh my gosh. I don't have any of the cold steel spears. I really would like to get the boar hunter, the big one that has the little things on the side so the boar doesn't slide all the way down the shaft and kill you after you've stabbed it. I'm not sure what those things are called. Seems logical. Nice to have you here, sir. Has anyone said they would bring a kukri back in time? Because that's my pick. Good weapon, great tool. Yeah, that is a good idea. Bring back like a cold steel 3V kukri. I love that purple, says Edgy American Place. I do too. I do. I'm doing the neck thing. Yeah, I love the purple too. Yeah. Red and blue. It's everyone coming together. It's agreement. It's holy. It's royal. Fishbag says, Edgy American Blades, happy birthday, Shane. May you never grow extras again. Happy birthday again to you, Shane. If I could only carry one, it would definitely be a folder. I love them, but they're inferior. Oh, it wouldn't be a folder. Yes, I know. Me neither. Me neither. All right. Well, let me show you a knife I just got. I got 2 new knives. I want to show them to you. Seems logical, says, how many ounces is that worked up gear Bowie? I don't know. Looks like it should be heavy, but that hollow may cut out a significant amount of weight. It's kind of shallow. The fuller, if you're talking about the fuller, I do not think that relieves that much weight. That said, it's nicely balanced. I got to say, it's balanced right here at the choil. So almost like a fighting knife where the balance is right at the forefinger. So it's with the balance here, it's pretty neutral, meaning even if it is, just under a pound or whatever it is, I don't know how much it weighs actually. It's still well balanced enough that weight feels relatively neutral if you're holding it in a normal way and doing normal stuff with it. You on there? Let's see. Cesario. Yep, I see you. Okay, cool. All right. Well, thanks for bringing it up, Cesario. And anyone else, if you ever feel like I might not be on there, it's not, do not feel any hesitation to mention that you didn't see your name on there, because I have legitimately forgotten in the past, or not forgotten, but, missed names, or like as I'm typing out the list, forgotten names. So please, if you do not see yourself, say something. And if you're there, you're there. It's no big deal. But if you're not, then we'll rectify it. I've done that before too. Jason says, sorry for all the comments. What are you talking about? I'm all caffeine. Yeah, I'm all caffeinated too. Waiting for the wife to get back from Deutschland. What should I have had her pick up for me? God, Germany's awesome. Chocolate. There's a lot of great chocolate in Germany. It used to be, okay, so my brother and I, when we were young, we went to Germany a couple of times, and both times we brought back boxes of knives. My brother brought back bayonets and switchblades and all sorts of stuff with no problem. But then somewhere in the late 90s, everyone got a stick up their ass all around the world, and you can't do stuff like that. So you can't get anything in Germany like that anymore, I don't think. But we were there 2 Novembers ago, and we had such a great time. I do love Germany. The food is good. There was something I was trying to remember. Sorry, go back to Terminator. Sorry, I got lost in Germany. And then I'll come back to Ghost Keeper. Terminator says, I heard Work Tough Gear is dropping 200 of the V44X tomorrow. That's a popular damn knife for them. 200's a big run for them. Ghost Keeper says, good to have you here, Ghost Keeper. Carrying the Wii Hyphen. That's a beautiful looking knife. XL. Ketuo Yakuza, KB Mantra, Kunwu Compact Excalibur. That's another beautiful looking one. The Mr. designed Phantom. That one I'm unfamiliar with, but nice carry there. And as I say every week, nice fish. You should have seen the one that got away. It seems logical says folders are a first worlder's knife. Most first worlders prioritize carryability of a knife more than toughness or sharpness or anything else. Yeah, I remember my dad did some stuff where he did some medical stuff in El Salvador, and he mentioned everyone. He's like, you like it down there. Lots of AK-40. Well, he was like, every store is guarded with a guy with an AK, and everyone carries a machete. It's like, you'd love it there. Trombini says, my Extrema Ratio Kukri KS. Very nice. I do not have an Extrema Ratio at all, which I'm embarrassed to say. Cesario says, sake and beer make me blind and deaf. That's all right. Sake. I love sake. We have a favorite sushi place around here, and it's usually at the behest of my youngest daughter. I want sushi, and then my wife's like, okay, and then we all go for sushi. John Schaaf. But I love the hot sake. John Schaaf says, hey, everybody. John, nice to have you here, sir. Glad I made it. Better late than never. No doubt, man. No doubt. This is an open house. This is like drop in, bring some food. I guess it can't be a potluck, but it's an open house. QSP made the Phantom. It looks like looks so sick. A hollow 20 CV warning. I love that. I love a hollow ground warning. I really wish the new Best Tech. It's not new, but everyone loves it. What's the warning? But they cut the fucking tip off. It's so annoying. Excuse the French. They cut the tip off. And it's got like swirly. It's got concentric circles in the titanium. It's newish. It's got a name that's been used on another knife. Damn it, I can't think of what it's called. And it looks so cool. It sounds great. Titanium frame lock, everything about it, except they cut the damn tip off the Warncliffe. It looks. Jason says, Bob, dude, I checked the Station 9 website and they have a sale running, and the MacVsog tribute knife. Oh, that's right. $70. It looks so freaking cool. Grab one. I think I will, Jason. I didn't know that they had released that yet. I check in with them every once in a while. I follow them on Instagram, but I didn't know they had released that knife. Cincinnati EDC, good to have you here, sir. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday to you. How back far in time? I don't know. You don't know. You might be sent back to 8th grade. You might be sent back to the 13th century. You just don't know where you're going. What knife you taking? LOL, maybe y'all already talked about it a little late. Sorry, hashtag knife. No, not at all. Worry not. That's how I look at it. And just so you know, Cincinnati, and anyone who just maybe this came up because I'm like this. Like, I'll be late at night or whatever, and I'll take the pocket knife out of my pajama pants to get in bed. Because don't ever get in bed with a pocket knife in your pocket. And I'll think, what if I'm magically transformed to a different time and I don't have this knife on me? Or if I'm in the house alone, or not alone, but in the house and I don't have a knife on me, which is very rare. That's what if I were to magically somehow immediately be in medieval England and I didn't have a knife, and I could say, oh my God, I have like 700 knives at home and I have nothing on me. What would I want on me? That's where it comes from. Call me strange, call me what you will. I know we all have thoughts like this. I'm not the only one. An American father says, I have to sleep. Bob, shut the hell up. No, I have so much to do so early in the AM. I'm thinking maybe I'll name this little doe goat the DeMarco doe. That would be such an honor. If someone asks what does that mean? I won't answer. I just walk away. I love that. Do that. Do that, please. And that would warm the cockles of my heart to know that some cute little doe, there's a goat out there, is named after me. Skalagrim made a video about the extreme ratio kukri. I love Skalagrim. Who doesn't? He's a great guy. Or seems like it. I've never met him in person, but I really like him. Ghostkeeper says, I think you're talking about a C's. Probably, but I don't know what that means, man. I don't know what that means. Oh, I can tell when it's getting late when I don't know. Oh, a sax. Think I'm talking about a sax. Thank you, Jim. Jim is like, yeah, he understands. He always knows what's going on. Whenever I'm like, what does that mean? He pops in. Yes, sax. Thank you. Trombini says, you convinced me. I will order the Agent 001. Oh, please do, Trombini. That would be awesome. And I think they have a few left, so please do. I'm not sure if they have the Badger Claw leather, but see if they do. These things are awesome. You just drop it in your pocket, pull the sheath right out. If not this, the Kydex sheath is the best. Coben says the extreme ratio S5F looks cool but expensive and under 12 inches. Okay. Oh, stuff maybe? Probably stuff. Seems Logical says, I thought so. I like the traditional look of kukris more. The tin Chira kukris are particularly good looking. Multiple yes, multiple hollows and lots of spine etchings. Yes, I know what you're talking about. I love the way those spine hollows, the way you call that's perfect way of saying it. I love the way they look. And you know how Donnie B all day, his first design with them was the D-Bad or the Preacher, and he did multiple hollows on his sort of recurve Tonto or recurve Bowie, and it looks so cool. Ghostkeeper says, I think they call that blade shape you don't like, the sax or something. I can't remember. No. I like the shape. I don't like the term. Oftentimes they'll call it a reverse Tonto. And I've always thought that that is the least articulate way you could describe that shape. However, as time and tide have rolled by, I have noticed that sometimes, oddly enough, reverse Tonto, if we're assuming we're talking about an American Tonto, is an apt description. But if you say reverse Tonto and someone's assuming a Japanese traditional Tonto, they're going to be thinking a Warncliffe. So reverse Tonto is all wrong. Jason says, I wait for you to send me the Nova 2, then I'll time travel back to now and tell you how cool it is. Jason, you just mind screwed me into sending you my I'm just kidding. But we are going to we meaning Matt Chase. I'm going to allow Matt Chase to make the Nova 2, and that will now be a production model of his coming up soon. John says, I'm opening a delivery from Knife Joy as we speak. I'm the proud new owner of a mini MSI APOC finish single edge with OD green frag. Dude, nicely done. Nicely done, John. But if you hear about it tomorrow from someone who's angry about this purchase, it's not my fault. Let's see. Seems Logical says, would you ever interview? Yes, I would love to interview Skalagrim. I'd also love to interview Scolara Gladiatoria, if that's how you pronounce his name. You know who I'm talking about, the British guy. I just saw him when we're watching, my wife and I are watching this History's Deadliest Warriors, a new show on History Channel. And that guy is one of the dudes that they talk to. Scalora Gladiatoria, whatever his name is. John Schaaf says, yep, what a stunner. Everything I'd hoped it'd be, and then some. Nice. Ghostkeeper says, they have the Wee hyphen listed as a reverse Tonto. I just know the factory hollow is, oh yeah. If it's a Wee knife, a Sen cut, or a whatchamacallit, it's going to be a nice hollow grind. Civivi, it's going to be a nice hollow grind. You do know that. Oh, I got one more knife to show. Oh, wait. Lone Star Dowboy says reverse tanto was a marketing term invented by Benchmade in 2000 for the release of the 940. That sounds about right. It was and is not a blade shape. Yeah. Oh, that belongs to Kiritsuke or K-tip. Oh, interesting. Huh. Kiritsuke. That must be kind of a Japanese knife. Jason Small says, have you ever checked out the Boker Boar Dagger? It's a weird orange. Oh, I made some rosewood handles. Now it's great. Fast and snappy. Yes, I think I know exactly what you're talking about. And if I'm not mistaken, the Boker Boar Dagger has straight edges, right? So like a triangular shaped blade as opposed to like leaf shaped, but it's a double edged. Coben says, yeah, Japanese Hattori Tantos are kind of sack shaped. Oh, interesting. Hence calling where to go. Hence calling this a Tanto. That's good information. Thank you. Mars Capone says Matt Easton. Matt Easton. Jim. I need your help, Jim. Matt Easton. Who's Matt Easton? Anyway, we'll find this out. We will find this out. I have no idea either, says Jim. All right, if Jim doesn't know, then it's not knowable because he is the man. All right, I got one more I want to show you, and then we're dipping because it's late and I got to get up early. But check this out. This is the new Jack Wolf Knives fixed blade, and I know Shane's going to love this one. This is very beautiful. Actually, I pulled this one out, and my wife reacted to this one in a different way. She had an emotional reaction to that abalone, and it wasn't because it's pink. She's not a pink lady, but she just loved the look of this, loved the depth of it, and how you can get lost in that handle. And she took ownership. She's like, "Can I have it?" And what am I going to say? No, this is mine, and I need this. So I said, yes, you can have it. And now I'm regretting it because I really like it. Of the 4 fixed EDC blades that Jack Wolf Knives has, this one, the Pioneer, is my favorite. It's got the most useful blade shape in that nearly full height hollow ground S90V sod buster blade. It's just very comfortable in hand. And I have also fallen in love with that abalone. It is beautiful, stunning to look at. And I'm generally not that kind of guy. I'm more tough and hardcore. I'm more high speed and low drag. You know what I mean? Give me the G10, give me the titanium. What, that pink, beautiful stuff? Oh, repulsive. Well, I love it. I will say it. And I like the red liners. And it feels great in hand. I think this is the best fixed blade in the fixed EDC line so far. So very nicely done. Beautiful handle on this, or beautiful sheath on this with the red stitching. So after I do my review video, it goes straight to the wife and into her purse, I would imagine. Her Percy book. Seems logical, says, speaking of Metatron, I saw him. Metatron. Speaking of Metatron, I saw him on Critical Drinker. He made a major change of direction of his channel away from knives and into politic commentary. Who's this? Metatron? I'm not sure who that is. Metatron. Bob needs his sleep for sure. Oh, thanks. I always need my sleep. But who the hell is Metatron? Because I was thinking, because I mentioned Scab before, and I was thinking Megatron. That's his wife's name, but I don't know who that is. Edgy American Blade says, Bob, I'm no longer trolling Ben. That knife is beautiful. Oh, cool. I'm glad. Well, I think you guys had a friendly kind of sparring thing. Ghost Keeper says, have you seen the Wixco Jugger dropping him? No, I haven't heard of Wixco, and I have no idea what a jugger is, but I'm going to have to look it up now. But I got jugger. An American father says the Japanese were making the reverse tanto shape for centuries. They called it the Kiritsuke. Kiritsuke. Okay, I got to remember that. Kiritsuke. Kind of like a less pointy oh God. Kiradashi. Thank you. Kirisuke Kiradashi. I'm seeing the prefix. Jacob Green says, holy sheet. I forgot it's Thursday. Happy knifing, everyone. Happy knifing to you, Jacob. The week goes by fast, man. Bam Bam says, would carrying the Cold Steel Recon Tonto SK5 on left and tops Tidal Force cleaver on my left belt into pocket. I'm so sorry about that. Carry with a small cold steel push knife hidden in my front. Sounds freaking great. I like that combo. Hey, check this out. I just got this. Speaking of that, Metatron is an Italian-born sword reviewer. Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to check him out. I just got this. Cold Steel SRK C, and I love it. I love it. It really is C. It's much more compact than the SRK, but not to a ridiculous extent. And let me put it next to a 4-inch bladed knife. No, this is 4 1/4. So it's like a 5-inch blade, I guess I'd say, being totally unscientific about it, but I love it. It's nice and thin. It has the character and sort of it has the character of the SRK, but it's a little bit also has the feel of a Koban, though it's not as thin, but it's a little bit thinner. I like it. I like it. I've only had it in my bag for 2 days, haven't used it for anything, but I plan on, playing with it this weekend outside. So I'm really excited about that. I was talking for weeks about on and off about getting that. Someone said, just get it. And I got it. So there it is. Very happy. Oh, God, that's beautiful. Oh, my gosh, that's nice. Oh, 116 bucks. Why do I feel queasy? What's up with this? All right, I'm going to have to check that out. That is cool. Thank you, Jim, for bringing that up. Beautiful shaped blade. I thought that they were very expensive looking. That's what they say in fashion when something. I thought it was expensive looking, and then I looked at the price tag. I was shocked. 160 bucks. Who's making this? Like babies on Mars? Blessed EDC. Nice to have you here, Blessed. Hashtag Tonto Knives Matter. They do indeed. They do indeed. You won't hear any different here. Wixco is the Ferromonster budget brand. Okay. God. Okay, that makes the design make more sense. It is beautiful. Am I right for the cleaver typo? I knew what you meant. I think I even read that. Jacob says, I would take my Formax Scout back with me in time, bomb-proof and concealable. What is this witchcraft? Yes. Wixco Jugger dropping in 5 minutes. All right, guys, get over there. Bob, my next Cold Steel will be the 3V version of that. Oh, nice. Of this, I'm presuming. What a great little knife. You'll never, ever have to do anything with it, sharpen it or anything. Coben says, I still don't have an SRK. It's worth it. Get an SRK. I got this for 27 bucks on Amazon. That's why I bought it. Amazon was like, here, you've been looking at this. Look, it's only 20. I'm like, fine. The SRKC is an all around the property. Do it all. I truly love mine. I have a feeling it's going to be able to do a lot. Combat cleavers matter. Night boss, time for dinners. For dinner. Have a wonderful dinner. Bon appetit, Bam Bam. Hope you're having a great meal, and hope you're sharing it with someone you love. And everyone else, hope you're sharing this weekend with someone you love. Seems logical. I'm probably in the minority when I say this, but I am not a big fan of Cold Steel. It's okay. You're probably in the minority here, but that's all right. It's all good. It's all good. There's plenty of stuff like I mentioned. I don't like Forrest Gump. A lot of people love that. Cold Steel rules, says Co-Bunny. All right, guys, that's it. Seems logical. Is Falkniven worth the price tag? Authentic Nordic Scandi Knife Company. I don't know. I've never had a Falkniven, but I haven't doubted when I have hefted the what the hell is that? Freaking who's their god? Who's their Zeus again? Odin. They have a knife called the Odin, I think. And it is a very nice. It's like the Cold Steel Trailmaster upgraded with a beautiful, with a convex edge and a beautiful stack leather handle. They seem worth it, though I just don't know. But plenty of material on YouTube about that from some of our trusted voices. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining me. Join us on Sunday for episode 665 of the Knife Junkie podcast. David Baker from Forged in Fire and everywhere else that you know David Baker from. He's awesome. We have a great conversation, and it's quite fun. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on Thursday Night Knives. Until next week, I'll see you next week. But until then, don't take dull for an answer.